You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, it's 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you're thinking about starting or enhancing your real estate career, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and help you in any way they can. You can also check us out online at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. Or if you're thinking about taking your real estate exams, whether it's the classroom or the state exams, visit passfirsttry.com for our recommended strategy to pass your real estate exams on the first try. But let's jump into what we're talking about today on State of Real Estate. Again, 12 noon every Friday, we come to you, into your homes, into your phones, into your tablets, to wherever it is that you're watching us, to help you take your real estate business to the next level or jumpstart your real estate business. We're all about growing your real estate business on Fridays at 12 noon Eastern Time. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like the Facebook page. If you want emails every time we go live, go to tampaschool.com/success. That's tampaschool.com/success. Put your email in there and you'll get notified every time we have one of these videos to help you grow your business or understand the real estate industry better. What we're talking about today is managing your client database. Managing your client database, or really building a client database if you don't have one already. And you probably already have a client base, even if you're just getting started in real estate, or maybe you don't even have your license yet, you probably have a base, or sometimes called a sphere of influence, the people it is that are around you. What turns that base of people into a database is basically collecting that information. And we could have a very simple, very kind of basic database of just, writing this stuff out on paper. You could just write out the clients it is that you're dealing with. But what happens is that's usually not an effective strategy for really organizing these people. The database is meant to be able to put all of this information together into one singular location. One singular location you could go to for all the information you need on any particular person at any point in time. Not just their name, but their phone number. Basically like the contacts you have in your phone. That's the key information essentially. But we're going to be talking about how you can tailor this to your business. Because just knowing how to contact that person doesn't really help you out. And you can also, again, do some basic stuff. Maybe you're utilizing the contacts in your phone, and maybe you're just putting in parentheses next to people buyer, or you can maybe do groups in your contacts or things like that. And that's definitely good, but there's still even more you could do. There's ways you could leverage technology for segmenting these people and even being able to send them an email or sending them a text message or being able to keep track of every time you have a contact or an interaction with these people that you're logging that into their file. You could actually even get so advanced as to having a website that actually tracks each individual person's activity on your website. So you could actually even see the properties it is that they're looking at. You could see the articles or whatever information it is that you have on your website, the videos it is that they're watching, the emails that they're opening. So much power you have when you're taking this data about your base of clients. So that's what our database really is meant to do. It's really to kind of keep tabs on our potential clients, potential business, our potential deals. And you could use this for past clients. You could use it for future clients. You want to use it really for everyone it is that you have an interaction with. Anyone that you would maybe like to do business with in the future should absolutely be in your database. Because again, this makes a nice unified system. You could look up somebody's name and any notes you have about that person, you'll be able to see there. So maybe their kids' names that you could have in there if you want to remember those, or maybe you want to send out birthday cards or anniversary cards or things like that are very personalized and special to them. That's where you can keep track of that information to make sure you don't forget this. And now, if you just have a few people, it's very easy to keep track of. But the play here isn't just having a few people. You don't want to just have a few people, and that's where the power of more of these digital technological databases come into play here. Because if you only have a few people, you're not going to have very much business, if any at all. But when you can expand this database to everyone that you've ever interacted with, anyone that you've ever gotten contact info from before, and you have them in there, and there's ways to automate this as well, so you could really scale out larger and larger, where you could basically have emails automatically sending to people, email newsletters. We're going to be talking about different ways to kind of structure this and strategize with this, because what you'll see is there's a wide assortment of platforms and programs and software and services available to keep track of information like this. This is a multi-billion dollar, if not even more than that, industry of data management. Really, if we're talking about data management in general, even like the big companies, we're talking trillions of dollars of an industry. So there's many products. Every business needs to have a way to keep track of its prospects, its clients, its past deals, and all of this information. Because not only is this how you stay in touch with people and further grow and accelerate your business, it'll absolutely help you with those things, but it also helps you keep tabs on what it is that you've done, so you can make sure that you're always growing and moving forward and increasing your actual business. So that's really the reason why you need a database. Now let's talk about some specifics of where you could use one of these databases. So let's say you have your past clients, and you want to be able to, so why would you want to stay in touch with your past clients? There's a few reasons why you want to stay in touch with past clients. Number one, and this is another National Association of Realtors statistic, is that every 5 to 7 years, somebody purchases a home. On average, the average home buyer in America purchases a home every 5 to 7 years. And again, this is an average number. So to further define what we mean when we say an average number, is that's what kind of falls in the middle. There's people that'll buy homes and sell homes at a much faster rate, maybe every year, maybe every 2 years, every 3 years. And at the same time, there's people at a slower rate, maybe 9, 10. Some people own a home for 15, 20, maybe even 50 years. So across all that numbers, the average comes down to about 5 to 7 years. So that's typically what you could expect from somebody, unless you have data that says otherwise. And if you want to keep track of that data that says otherwise, again, your database is going to be extremely effective and useful for this. What you're able to keep track of is not only when you think it is that they're going to purchase again, or what it was that they've purchased before, or how it was that you helped them, or how it was that you met them, or what information, whatever it is that you want to help actually keep down, so you don't have to leave that up to your head and your brain that's probably going to forget about that information anyways. So you have that all logged into this database. And this database, again, we could automate our follow-up with these clients. It's very easily done with email. Also possible with text messages, or for the more personalized things like sending out an email or sending a birthday card or sending an anniversary card or things like that. It could be set up to give you reminders to reach out to them. So it could give you a reminder, create you a task basically saying, hey, contact this person, give this person a touch, let them know that you still exist, that you're still doing real estate. Ask them, and this is the big other reason why you want to stay in touch with your past clients, ask them for referrals. Always, and you've probably seen this before with professionals, maybe real estate professionals in the real estate space. You see this a lot, but you see this with a lot of professionals, whether companies or individuals, is on the back of a lot of business cards. It says a referral is the greatest compliment I could ever receive. I know people that use that for their signature line in their emails or all kinds of things like that. And you want to constantly reinforce that concept with, hey, if you still have a relationship with them, they probably liked you. They probably appreciate the job it is that you've done for them. And when somebody asks about how they purchased their house or who they used to purchase their house or anything like that, that's where you want to have them have your mind, your information, your name top of mind. They want to say, oh yeah, John Charismo, you got to talk to him. When we bought a house from him a few years ago. And you notice how I said that a few years ago. If you're staying in touch with them, if you're continuously following up with them, giving them the occasional phone call, sending out the occasional text message, sending out a birthday card, an anniversary card, a Christmas card, a holiday card, a happy Halloween, a happy fall, a happy Thanksgiving. There's a holiday like every month out of the year. So that gives you immense opportunity to stay in contact with people. So it's going to help you now when they're ready to purchase a home. And if that's in 2 years or if it's in 1 year when they're ready to buy and sell again, that's great. They'll still probably would have forgotten about you if you're not following up with them. So your database, your CRM, your contact manager allows you to stay on top of this to make sure that they remember you. And you don't want to rely on just one thing. I've said this before. You don't want to rely on just emails, because the statistics are about 15% of emails actually get opened. Maybe if you have a good relationship with them, that's a little bit higher. But now, how do you have a good relationship with them? Again, going back to those more personalized types of touches, giving them a follow-up phone call, a text message, seeing how they're doing, just saying you called to wish them happy holidays or whatever it may be. Just, hey, I'm reaching out to all my past clients. I want to see how you guys are doing, how you guys are still liking the house and blah, 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 blah. You know, just a little bit of small talk with this here. Yes, you're not going to get immediate business right there unless you're able to capture a referral, which again is the second reason why you want to stay in contact with them. You're able to generate referral business when they say, hey, do you know of anyone else in the neighborhood that's looking to sell their home? Or do you have any friends or family that were looking to sell? I know you guys are still really happy with your home, but do you know of any friends or family that are thinking about selling? And then they talk and they say, oh yeah, you know what, actually, I think our neighbor was actually saying that they're wanting to move somewhere because they got a new job or whatever it was that they're telling you. And you're just like, oh wow, that's how exciting. And then you can get their contact info and actually follow up with that new client. Say, hey, and you could maybe even ask them, hey, do you mind introducing us? Do you mind giving us a testimonial? All these things you could use, again, to help multiply and maximize your business. And that's just what you're able to do through past clients, through people it was that you've already worked with. Now, I know there's a lot of new agents that are on here. Maybe some of you guys that are watching this that don't have any past clients yet. So you're saying, John, well, that's great. I'm definitely going to have a database when I do have past clients, but what do I do until I have past clients? Do I need a database? Absolutely. You absolutely need some way to keep track of your future clients as well. And again, that could be something as basic as just keeping notes, having a little book, this used to be, before we had computers, little black books people would keep, and they'd keep notes on people and so on and so forth. So now we have the technology and it's very readily available. Even if you're just using a basic spreadsheet, that's another way to kind of digitize this. That way you always have it in your pocket. You could add some notes in there and all kinds of things like that. Very basic for it, but that's a free, easy way. And you don't have to buy Excel or anything like that. Go use Google Sheets. Google Sheets is available absolutely free to anyone and everyone, and you'll be able to save all that information in there. And then, of course, there's obviously all these programs and platforms that tailor to the real estate industry. Now, these can get quite pricey. Now, they're obviously worth it, but when it comes up with coming up with that initial capital, especially as a new agent, you want to grow into something like this here. And there's a lot of platforms that are actually even available for free that you could utilize to this extent or at a minimal cost. So definitely check some of that stuff out. We're going to be talking about some of these things you could be doing later in the show today. And that's where you want to see if these systems are able to do that, able to handle that. And that's how you make a judgment on which one's going to work best for you. But now for managing your future clients, basically taking all the people that are leads or contacts or prospects, whatever it is that we're calling them, people we have not done business with yet. Maybe we haven't even met with these people yet. Maybe we haven't met with them. Maybe this is the neighbor of our previous client, our past client. They said, oh yeah, our neighbor's actually thinking about selling their home. Great. What's their phone number? You have a little bit of a conversation with them over the phone. Hey, your neighbor Bill was telling me that you guys are thinking about selling. I actually helped them sell their home just a few years back and helped them buy the one that's right next to you now. When were you guys thinking of moving? When are you moving? Where are you moving to? Just getting some basic information like that. You put that in your contact database, and they put maybe down there that, hey, look, not looking to move for 6 months. And you know, you don't want to dismiss that right away. Oh, 6 months, yeah, I don't have time to wait for that. I need business now. No, you put them in your database and you keep track of this, and you're able to set reminders. In 3 months, follow up with them. Hey, you guys still looking about moving in about 3 months? You should probably start thinking about getting this ready now. Would you like me to come over to do a pre-consultation, things like that? Because you want to follow up with these people. Even if they're 6 months out, a year out, whatever it may be, you want to stay in touch with them. Because they might decide, okay, we need to move sooner. We need to get out of here sooner. We found the new home it was that we want to purchase. We got to sell this house now. And it might be before 6 months. Them telling you that they're thinking about this in 6 months or 9 months or a year or 2 years, whatever it may be, that's by no means a promise that they're going to sell their home in 2 years. It could be even longer than that as well, which again is the power of this database. It automates a lot of these activities of not only staying in touch with them, but keeping track of this information. So the moral of the story with this here, maybe they say 6 months, you maybe call them 3 months, or maybe call in a month and say, hey, look, I just thought of this the other day and I just wanted to stay in touch. If you're actually even waiting for a month without contacting them at all, they probably already forgot who it is that you are. So by putting them into this database, especially one that has the capabilities of sending automated emails, you could tell them on that first discussion, is like, oh yeah, that's great, when you're moving, where are you moving to, get that information, put that in there, and say, hey, look, I'd love to send you out my pre-sale package if you guys are thinking about doing any improvements around the house or things like that. It's got a lot of great information in there that you're definitely going to want to see. What email address can I send that to? And now you've got a way to stay in touch with them. So they're seeing your emails, and when they open up that first email, they're likely to open up your other emails as well. And when they start seeing you, even if they're not opening your emails, and these databases can often tell you, they usually will tell you if they're opening your emails and what it is that they're doing, if they're clicking on your emails and so on and so forth. So it gives you a lot of powerful data that'll give you indicators as to whether or not this person really is ready. If they're opening up every single one of your emails and clicking on the links, and even let's say you're tracking your website data too, and you see that they're on your website reading through this stuff here, you know that they're really serious about selling. They still may not be ready right now, but this helps make this a little bit more predictable. And what happens when you end up with lots of clients like this will help you kind of drill down to who are the ones most likely to buy or sell right now. And when you're able to drill down to who's ready right now, you're able to focus your efforts and not waste your time on the people that aren't ready for another year or so, while still staying in touch with them through the power of the database. So it's absolutely something you must have. Every single business should have some sort of database. If you have a rewards program for any sort of retail store, that's their way of tracking you, understanding what it is that you're doing in their stores. When you're searching on Amazon and they're keeping track of you, you're giving you tailored recommendations and so on and so forth, they're getting this intelligence on who their customers are, what they're likely to purchase, and then giving them some recommendations on things they're likely to purchase. And they're able to do this when they have the relevant information. They've got thousands and millions of products on sites like that, and they're able to tailor it down and nail and drill it down to just those things they're most likely to purchase. So you want to use that same power, and the database will let you tap into that. Now we're going to talk about some other things in the database. We're going to be talking about the ways that you could stay in touch with your database, how you could segment and break up your database to make it more effective, because if you're just sending out one generic newsletter, yes, that's good. But like I said earlier, with that person who's thinking about selling, giving them that information, hey, I heard you're thinking about selling, and I got this whole little package here for people that are thinking about selling to help get you ready for your home and so on and so forth. And I'm glad we're talking now, because this stuff doesn't help you out when you're absolutely ready to sell, and you have that specialized email it is that you send out to them and so on and so forth, and then following up with them tailored to them wanting to sell their home. So a lot of power that you have with this database. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking more about the databases. I'm John Cursimo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Have you been thinking about starting a career in real estate? Enjoy an entrepreneurial lifestyle that allows for schedule flexibility with unlimited income potential. In real estate, the sky is the limit, and what you put in is what you get out. Learn more about a career in real estate at tampaschool.com. Did you know that statewide, only about 50% of test takers pass their state exam on the first try? At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we've broken down passing class and state exams into 4 simple steps: learning the information, reinforcing the information, testing your knowledge, and being confident and prepared. View the details of the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com. Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you're thinking about starting or enhancing your real estate career, go to tampaschool.com or give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. They're standing by to answer any questions you have and help you in any way they can. And if you're trying to pass your class or state exams, for our recommended strategy to help you pass on your first try, visit passfirsttry.com. Again, that's a recommended strategy to help you pass your exams on the first try. Definitely want to check that out. We've got a lot of tools in there that drill down to making sure you know the key topics that could be tested on your class and state exams. So definitely check that out. That's passfirsttry.com. What we're talking about today, topic that I really enjoy, because this is a very kind of business development, and this is one of the things that apply across the board. We're talking about today specifically in terms of the real estate business and realtors and sales associates and brokers and whoever's a real estate professional, how you could utilize a contact database. And that database, again, is basically taking your base of people, your sphere of influence, the people that your client base, and putting data with them. So you could have actionable insights, ways to actually drill down to, okay, this person's likely to buy, let me send them this email, let me give them this phone call, let me send them a text message, let me mail them something, or it gives you all the data to really make you smarter about how you're following up with people. Because let's say you've got 1,000 people in your database, or you've got 1,000 person base of people. Let's say you don't have the database, you've got 1,000 people. Trying to stay in touch with them and keep tabs on every one of those 1,000 people, even if you've got a photographic elephant-like memory, that's going to be very, very difficult. I have a hard enough time keeping track of 2 or 3 people, let alone thousands of people. And again, that's where your database comes into play. It lets you put down notes about people. You could have things like their birthday, their anniversary, all this kind of basic contact manager type of things. But then there's much more powerful systems that are available, ones that allow you to do email sends. One of the ones I would definitely recommend you check out, it's not going to be perfect for everyone, but MailChimp, a Weber, Constant Contact, all of these different programs that are set up for like an email newsletter type of thing. But what I would really challenge you to do with this, with your database, so again, we're trying to find actionable data, so we can kind of almost group our contacts together. And when you're able to group or segment your contacts together, you're able to send them specific marketing, specific material, specific information that applies directly to them. And if you want to see a better return on your investment from your outreach to your contacts, you want to segment and specialize the information directly to them. So for example, let's say that you have a list of people selling their property. You have a list of home sellers, people that want to sell. It wouldn't make too much sense to send them first-time home buyer information, or send them information, oh, you could save more money with buying a home than you do with renting. They already own a home. Why would that be practical to them? They'll think that, oh, look, this person doesn't know, don't they know we own a home, and they'll just think that you're dumb. So you want to be very intelligent with the information it is that you're sending, and who it is that you're sending, knowing who that person is, and knowing what message it is basically that you need to relay to them. So again, if they're thinking about selling their home, that example that I gave earlier in the first part of this show was, hey, I've got a packet. I know you aren't ready to sell right now. I completely understand that. I'm glad actually that we're talking right now, because there's a lot you could do to get ready beforehand for when you're ready to sell, to help you sell your home as quickly as possible for the best price possible. And now all of a sudden they're listening. They're like, okay, well, yeah, I've thought about selling my home. And that's the boat you find most people in. Unless they're saying, hey, I just got a job, I need to move, or I need to move, I already bought a new home, or I just need to sell this home and I need to get rid of it as soon as possible. Those people are ready to do business right now. And there's not much you have to do in terms of following up with them in order to get this business. But the people that are saying, oh, and this is what you're going to get a lot of the time, probably 80-90% of the time, people are going to say, oh, I've thought about selling, or I've thought about buying, but I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. Completely understandable. Yeah, most of people take 6 months to a year sometimes before they're actually even ready, where they're thinking about this. So you reassure them that they're not alone, that they're not crazy, that you're willing to assist them even though they're not ready. And when they see that you're willing to assist them, even though there's no immediate commission in there for you, they're like, wow, this person is really genuine. This person really cares about my needs and my goals and my ambitions. And when you have that type of relationship, it makes your job a whole lot easier when you actually go to get a contract signed, to get a listing agreement signed, to get a buyer brokerage agreement signed, to actually do some sort of deal with them. So you absolutely want to try building this rapport ahead of time. You don't want to say, oh, well, call me again in 6 months. If you leave it up to them to call you, they're either going to call somebody else or somebody else is going to call them, and you're never going to get that business. So you need to stay on top of these people. And yeah, when they're saying they're not ready for another 6 months or another year, that's stuff that can be difficult, especially if you don't have any sort of organization or some sort of system to manage this information for you so you can stay on top of this. So you absolutely want to try to drill down in this information and have as much details there as possible. Don't just put, their name and their birthday and everything like that, because then you look at it and you're like, well, what was I talking to this person about? It defeats the whole purpose of having the database. The purpose of having the database is being able to understand, okay, this person is a home buyer, not just a home buyer, but maybe a first-time home buyer. And they're looking for homes in this specific area. So you've got all these details here. And like I said, there's the website platforms that are out there. There's a lot of great website platforms. Most of at least the good IDX type of websites, an IDX website are the websites that you see like our brokerage websites where there's listings available, there's homes available where you could search the MLS basically is what they say it is. Very similar to kind of how like Zillow works, except for it's branded as an agent's own website. And those are really powerful tools when you can get people on there. Like I said in last week's episode of State of Real Estate, we were talking about, the how to choose your broker stuff and so on and so forth. And one of the things that I mentioned in there is that the website isn't something that you need to worry about necessarily right away. It's definitely something that you want, and it's something that's very powerful, but again, only if you have people going on that website. But now, once you're building up your client base, once you're building up your base of people, when you're contacting that seller saying, hey, your neighbor said you were interested in selling your home, I'm glad we're talking now because I'd love to kind of give you guys some tips before you're actually ready to sell to help you maximize your value, help you sell your home as quickly as possible. Or maybe you're talking about the buyer side of this. Hey, so-and-so told me that you guys are getting ready to buy your first home. What an exciting time, and so on and so forth. And you're giving them that information that's ultimately going to tailor and touch directly into them. When it's so again, we live in the information age. There's so much information out there in the world. You have to pull this in and focus it down to what information it is that they want. They need to be knowledgeable about what the home sale process looks like. And when you're able to have a series of emails or text messages or phone calls or even collateral material, print material that you're actually sending them through the mail or maybe even dropping off at their house. There's really personalized levels you could get to with this here to help establish your credibility and build that rapport with them so when they are actually ready, you're still staying in touch with them. Because again, if you sleep on this at all, they're going to forget who it is that you are, or some other agent's going to swoop in and adopt your clients on you, and you don't want that. But just to give you some ideas of how you could segment this to really kind of tap into certain ones, let's talk about the seller side of this. So for the seller side, we have our highly motivated sellers. So our highly motivated sellers, you still want to have them in your database, even if they're ready to sell right now, unless you're having an appointment with them this afternoon or within a couple of hours. And even then, you want to say, hey, look, I want to send you out this pre-appointment package here that's got some information here that you're definitely going to want to check out, because that way, if whatever happens, even if they are highly motivated, that they don't end up signing that agreement right then and there, that you're able to give them some information and start following up with them to get them to sign that appointment. And that's your low-hanging fruit, these highly motivated buyers and sellers. So, and a lot of times with these systems, you could use these different tags, sometimes they're called, or list in combination in conjunction with each other. So you could have a highly motivated first-time home buyer or a highly motivated for sale by owner or something like that. So a couple of the other ones that we have for the sellers down here that I wanted to mention. So highly motivated is definitely a list that you want to have, even if it's just for a couple of pieces of information. You want to have for sale by owners. So for sale by owners are an entirely different class of home seller. Somebody that's already using an agent knows the deal. But a for sale by owner, they might not want to use an agent because they don't know what it's like using an agent. They might think they have to pay money up front or have all these misconceptions and myths about using a real estate agent. And it's your job really to educate them on that. The for sale by owner, I would say, would be the one that would probably be most receptive to the education because they're trying to do it on their own. And when they start doing this education, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to really buckle down and try to learn all this information. Or number two, they're going to be like, hey, look, you seem to really know what you're talking about here. I'm really overwhelmed with this here. Can we maybe negotiate a rate that's not too excessive or something like that? And all of a sudden, you don't just have your foot in the door. You've got your whole body in there, having an appointment, giving them, maybe you give them a little bit of a discount or something like that, but at the end of the day, you're getting the business. So for sale by owner, and you can see how you could tailor and structure this directly to that type of client. You have expired listings. So expired listings are a big way to generate some new business. And if you're putting them in your database, because what happens a lot of times with the expired listings is they're not ready to put their property right back on the market right then and there. Maybe they've waited 6 months or 9 months or a year or 3 months or whatever that time was that they had the property listed. An expired listing is a listing that sat on the market and never sold. So they might not be ready for it. They might not have the equity in the property that they need to be able to sell it because they might want to net a certain amount. In order for them to net that certain amount, they have to sell it for a price that's above the actual market value of the property. So that might not actually result in business right now. Even though they tried to sell it, they might not be ready to actually sell right now. They might just want to wait on it. They might want to wait till they pay down their mortgage a little bit more. Perfect opportunity to have them in a database to follow up with them, to kind of show them really now, in this case, who you are as an agent, how you might be a little bit better than the agent they had used previously or whatever it may be. So that's our expired listings. Another one for sellers, and this goes for the buyer side as well, is your past clients, your past sellers. Now, past seller may be different than a past buyer, or maybe you had both past sellers and past buyers. And maybe you do something like, maybe you have some sort of like, almost like where you're taking like a picture. A lot of agents you'll see will do a picture with their clients. Oh, we're closing on this property, or we just got their home sold and things like that. And maybe you send them that picture, but then you keep selling them, sending them more pictures of more people you help sell their home. You say, oh, help them sell their home in this many days, and like, wow, look, John's still on it. John's still doing real estate. I liked him. We want to use him again when we sell our home later. And when they have that mentality, especially after you've been following up with them, that's going to really prime them for offering you referrals of people it is that they know they want to buy or sell or whatever it may be, wherever they need a real estate professional to say, oh yeah, John's our guy, you got to talk to him. He's the best in the business. He sends us emails all the time of all the people he's helped out, and he does a great job, very professional. And that's the types of things that you want your past client saying about you. And a lot of this, you have to program them to say those things about you. As funny as it may seem, you have to really show them. You have to tell your story effectively to show them really that, hey, look, I not only you weren't some sort of rare occurrence. Not only did I do a great job for you, these are all the other great people I've done great jobs for. And when you show that, not only are they more likely to use you again, they're also more likely to send you referral business as well. So you definitely, your past sellers and past buyers, you want to tailor that a little bit more. These ones don't require quite as much specialization to them. It's definitely going to be a lot less salesy with these types of correspondences that you have with them, the emails, the phone calls, and that's why you want to keep track of who these people are. So you're not calling up your past client and say, hey, are you guys ready to sell? No, you're not? Oh, well, that's right, you did move in there 2 months ago. Yeah, I guess you're not ready to sell yet. You don't want to look like an idiot, because when you look like an idiot, you're not a professional. Professionals know what they're doing. It's like the professionals, it's like they could read your mind. And they read your mind because they know what those data points equal out to in their business. A professional realtor, somebody that really knows their business, will know what kind of indicators will mean what things with their clients. And that absolutely means nothing if you can't remember or effectively keep track of with a database this information. So your database is very powerful for that as well. Over on the buyer side, we've got some categories you could tap into. The first-time home buyer was one that I've mentioned already. So if you're dealing with people that, they want to buy a home, again, now this is more of an education process. This is where you're educating them. This is what the home buying process looks like. You're not paying for my commission. It's the seller that's already pre-negotiated to pay me a commission, so it's not going to cost you any money for my services. You will have to pay some closing costs. Going into these types of details, the tax savings they could get, they could write off and deduct their mortgage interest, their property taxes, all these tax deductions that they're missing out on because they are renting. or maybe the equity buildup. And maybe even if you have a past client and you're saying, oh, one of my past clients, they bought their home at this price, it's already gone up to this much, and they've got this much equity in their home. If they were to sell that home today, they'd be able to walk away with $200,000 they can now use as a down payment for their new home or whatever it may be. And that gets people excited. But part of that, again, is you're educating on them on what's possible and what opportunities are available through home ownership. So that's definitely how you want to tailor that message for a first-time home buyer. But now if you're taking that first-time home buyer message and sending that same information to somebody who's not a first-time home buyer that's bought a home before, they're like, what do they think? I'm stupid? I know all this stuff here. So again, it's a different tone. It's a different type of correspondence you're having, a different interaction based on the different clients. And that's where you want to, again, tailor and structure your database toward that. Another big category for either one of these two sides, sellers or buyers, is the investor. The investor has very different information that they're looking for. And again, if you're talking about past clients that you've worked with, you don't want to tell an investor about a first-time home buyer. They're like, well, look, I'm not a first-time home buyer. I don't care about first-time home buyer stuff. I can't do this and that, and I have to pay capital gains if I do this. And so you want to give your investor different information. Maybe sending information, educating them about a 1031 exchange or all these different ways. And really, a lot of this comes down to your specialization, because you might not ever deal with investors, so you might not ever have to have one of these investors databases or segment set up in your system. Really, it comes down to who are your clients and what information do those clients need. We're going to talk about some ways to effectively implement this after the next commercial break. I'm John Carissimo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Have you been thinking about starting a career in real estate? Enjoy an entrepreneurial lifestyle that allows for schedule flexibility with unlimited income potential. In real estate, the sky is the limit, and what you put in is what you get out. Learn more about a career in real estate at tampaschool.com. Did you know that statewide, only about 50% of test takers pass their state exam on the first try? At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we've broken down passing class and state exams into 4 simple steps: learning the information, reinforcing the information, testing your knowledge, and being confident and prepared. View the details of the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com. Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. All right, welcome back to State of Real Estate. I'm John Carissimo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you're thinking about starting or enhancing your real estate career, give us a call, 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Check out our website, tampaschool.com, or if you're looking for a recommended strategy to pass your class and state exams on the first try, check out passfirsttry.com. But let's get back into the topic we're talking about today. And again, this is a topic that I really enjoy because I really love the aspect of really building the business, building out a business system, building something that's going to be greater than what you're doing today. When you're out there holding an open house, when you're out there door knocking, if you're making cold calls or anything like that, those are great things that are going to get you business right now. But something like building your database, this makes it possible for you to scale your business larger and larger and larger and larger. And even if you're not trying to be the best and the biggest and the most expensive or whatever type of agent out there, even if you're just trying to do something small time, maybe you're doing it part time, all the more reason to have some sort of database, some sort of way to keep track of your clients. Because if you're doing this part-time, you've probably got other things going on in your life, and it's that much harder to keep track of all this information. So you absolutely have to have some sort of contact manager, database, email system. There's so many options available. Part of this comes down to, though, making sure this is something that you're going to actually use, that you're going to actually leverage in your business. Because it makes no sense. You'd be paying for the most expensive contact manager in the world, but if you're not using it, and you're not using it to its fullest potential, or maybe you're just putting a couple people in there, but you don't really put in the details or anything like that, or even if you're just putting everybody in there, but you're not putting any details in, nothing that's going to help you out, nothing that's going to give you information that'll help you close some sort of deal, you're wasting your time. No need to do that unless you're going to really effectively use this system. So you got to find one that you like, especially when you start investing time in this as well. So we were talking about all the different kind of segments you could have with your clients. And with most of these systems, it's easy to group these or put them on a certain list or anything like that based on what it is that they're interested in doing. But now, this whole concept of putting the cart before the horse, you don't want to go and spend hours on end building out this whole system when you don't have any clients to put in the system. Again, you could have the best contact manager in the world, but if you're not using it or you don't have any clients in it, it's completely worthless. It's got no value unless you're actually using that system and putting people in there that will actually get some information that's special, or it's going to help you in the business somehow. Because if this isn't giving you any assistance, it's not giving you any help, again, wasting your time on this. So you want to definitely understand what's capable. But again, I can't stress this enough. Don't overdo it with this here. I would, again, try to put the horse before the cart, not the cart before the horse. And putting a cart in front of a horse, the horse don't really do a good job of pushing things. They usually pull things. And so your clients, those are the horses. The database, that's the cart. You got to have the clients in there that are making the database useful. So putting the clients in there, and then also putting information in there, and then also when you set a reminder to call this person, guess what? You actually call the person. Or, and this is the part I like about this too, because again, building out the business, making this scalable, making this where it's less input that you have to do in your part, because with this database, it's definitely a big undertaking. It's a big undertaking, but it is something very important. And number one, most important thing you want to be able to do is be able to lead generate. But when you're lead generating, you're going to find that not everybody is ready to buy or sell a home right now. And that'll seem frustrating unless you have a plan B. Your plan B is putting them in your contact database and following up with them until they're ready to do business, until they're ready to buy, until they're ready to sell, until they're ready to invest, or all these other things, whatever it is that your ultimate plan is for these clients, that you say, okay, yeah, I completely understand you're ready to buy, or you're not going to be ready to buy for another 6 months or sell another 6 months. I want to get some pre-information out to you now that you want right now. As a matter of fact, I wish I could have gave these to you last month so you had a little extra time to work on this stuff. But that way you're able to stay in touch with them and start building that relationship beforehand. And when they see that you're offering this value and they haven't paid you for this value, and that you don't have any, they've already told you, because what they're doing when they're telling you that I'm not ready for another 6 months or probably at least another 3 months or whatever time period it is that they're pushing this out to, what they're saying is, I'm not ready to commit not only to buying or selling, I'm not ready to commit to you. Because they think if you tell them they're ready to buy now, you're going to show up there with a contract, and they're going to be stuck in a contract, and now they're going to have to owe you all this money, and that's bad. And that's a normal association people have with any type of salesperson. And so, again, you have to come from a point of value, from this perspective of offering value to the clients. And when you're coming from that perspective, it's going to help build up your rapport. They'll see that you're really genuine, that you really care about their needs, especially when you're giving them information that ties directly into what they're trying to do. And when they see, wow, you're really knowledgeable, or that, wow, I actually saw that email and that had some good information, or I watched that video you have in there about or the benefits of buying a home, or all these different things, when they see that information that ties and touches directly into them, that's where you're going to look really good. But the key part of this is making sure you're using this database effectively. So Again, you want to have these segments and these lists or whatever it is that we're calling the groupings of people. And you could try to make these fairly broad, but you don't want to go so simple as buyers and sellers because there's a lot of different types of buyers, there's a lot of different types of sellers. There's different motivation levels, and that's maybe something you could even automate in these systems as well. Maybe you're sending different information, having different interactions, having different phone calls, different conversations, different emails with somebody, and you should be with somebody that's motivated, somebody that's ready to buy or sell right now, as opposed to somebody that's saying, oh, I'm thinking about this in a year or 6 months or something like that. Entirely different type of conversation. You're still talking about, hey, just let me know as soon as you're ready, and that type of thing like that, and still having that constant interaction to find out if they are ready. And that's still okay. And then when you're talking about your past clients, they say, what do you mean I'm not ready to sell? I just bought my home. So again, you got to have a different message, a different communication with these people based on when it is that they're purchasing, not just what type of buyer or what type of seller it is, but when that timeline looks like. And this, we're getting really complex here in how you're structuring this all out. And this will take some time to set up your database, to set up your system in order to keep track of all this information. And especially if you're trying to build this out for every possible type of buyer, every possible type of seller, every possible type of motivation, if they're ready to buy in 5 months versus 6 months, there's no difference there really between 5 months, 6 months. They're really just making up those numbers. They're not even if they say, I want to sell before the end of the year, or even if they say I want to sell before the holidays or whatever that may be, they're really kind of just pulling this information out of their head. That could be true. It could be longer than that. It could even be shorter than that. And you're going to kick yourself when you find out it is shorter than that. And the way you go about finding out is finding out that property already went on the market with another agent, or they already bought another home with another agent. So staying in touch with them and having an effective message that, again, based on their motivation, whether they're highly motivated, it's like, hey, when do you want to have an appointment? Versus when they're kind of motivated, they're thinking about it, hey, let me know when you want to have an appointment. Versus the repeat customers say, any home buying needs that you have, let me know. If you're ever looking to invest in property, let me know. And also let me know what your friends and family, because I'd love to help them out as well. And I'm sure you'd love to give me a great recommendation on the job I did for you. So again, different type of message you have to have. The key thing I would say for this year, especially if you're a new agent and you don't have that large of a base yet, is to start putting your people in there and asking yourself, okay, what kind of person this is. A lot of these systems will allow you to go in and just basically set up this list. You could just say, okay, this person's a first-time home buyer. You could put that in there and just say this is a first-time home buyer, put them in a first-time home buyer group, and that's all you have to set up. And then as you, let's say, create emails to send to them, or there's certain phone scripts that when you call them, you want to read off of this certain script or something like that, that's the stuff you could build out as you go. And that's where this is really effective, where you could build this as you go, and then you can kind of tweak and hone this and make it perfect for that type of individual. So the key thing here, I would say, would be to build this out as you go. You don't want to invest, just like you can't know everything in the real estate industry, and especially if you try to learn everything, all the information in the real estate industry before you do a deal, you'll never end up doing a deal because you're never going to end up learning everything. You're never going to build the perfect database, the perfect contact manager, whatever it is that we're calling it. You're never going to have it absolutely perfect. It's always going to be a constantly changing and evolving, and especially something that might be possible tomorrow might not be possible today. And even if you think it's perfect right now, there might be new technology that comes down the road that makes it more possible. Now you're able even to send automated text messages and things like that, depending on the type of system you have. You could leave voicemails. There's services like Sly Broadcast, which is a really neat tool. It lets you basically skip the ringing on a phone and just send out a voicemail to somebody, and not just to one person, but you could record one voicemail and it'll automatically leave a voicemail on 100, 200, 1,000, however many people it is that are in your list, on your database. You put the phone numbers in there, you record your message, hey, I know you're thinking about buying a home and you're kind of going back and forth between buying and renting. I'm actually having a first-time home buyer seminar this weekend. We've got a lot of great vendors there that can help make your dream of home ownership a reality, and we're going to have a lot of great information and education that will help you understand the home buying process and really make a good decision as to whether or not home buying is for you. Come this Saturday, 11 a.m. at 123 Main Street, or whatever it is. And you can leave a message like that, and whether that's a text message or a voicemail, you're going to have a lot higher ROI, a lot more people that show up rather than if you just sent out an email invite. Again, knowing what different type of medium or vehicle it is that you're using to contact these people, the email, pretty low on the priority list. People get so many emails. There are people that read every single email, but those people are the anomalies. Those are the people that are more rare. I've got something like 15,000 unread emails in my box, and usually because I'm looking at the subject and I'm saying, nope, not important, not going to read that. And they might be saying that about you. They might see your name and they might say, oh, this John guy is trying to get us to buy a house again. I don't want to check, I don't want to even read his email. When maybe they really do want to buy a house, but maybe they're frustrated because they've been trying to buy a house, or just the thought of buying the house is really overwhelming them. But then if you send them a text message, it's something like 97% of text messages get read. And same thing with voicemails. Very high likelihood that they're going to check your voicemail, that they're going to listen to your voicemail when they can hear your voice and you're sounding reassuring. That's the great part about the voicemail, or even just talking on the phone, talking directly with them one-on-one. When they hear your voice, you could have a tone to your voice. You could talk with a smile on, and you can make it sound very optimistic and how great it is and how you're going to want to come. There's a free lunch at this home buyer seminar. You have to be here. You can see how that could come across great in a phone call, but it's hard to make that type of tone in something written like a text message or an email. But again, depending on what message it is you're trying to get across, there's going to be different mediums that are better for certain types of messages. And sometimes, like having that actual personalized phone call, that one-on-one phone call, that's going to eat into your time. And that's not quite scalable. And what we're trying to do with the database is try to scale out our business. So using these other tools to automate more of this. And now when you're first getting started out, I don't want to confuse you guys, because when you're a new agent or you're just starting out or you're just starting to build up your client base, you don't necessarily need to invest, because it's going to cost money for all these systems that automate this process for you. Yes, and the reason why they charge money for this is because it helps make your job easier. It takes some burden off of you. It's like hiring a person, that person being a computer, to go send out emails to all these people, or hiring somebody to leave voicemails for all these people, or hiring somebody to send text messages to all these people. So there is a cost typically to these automation systems. And again, if you have just a couple clients, you could probably copy and paste text messages or have that same phone call 5 times, and there's no need to have some sort of automated system or automatic dialer. That's another thing that's really cool with a lot of the automation things. If you are trying to have those personalized one-on-one conversations, the problem that you run into when calling people is not everyone answers their phones. So there's these automatic dialers that you could use. You upload your list of phone numbers and it automatically starts dialing people. And it just keeps dialing people until somebody answers, and as soon as somebody answers, it rings on your phone and it connects you. And you might say, well, what if 2 people answer at the same time? So there's actually some really sophisticated systems I've seen where it's actually where you could record some sort of message in there in case you don't answer right away. And if you want to be really sly about this, you could say something along the lines of oh, hold on, I'm going to call you right back. I can't hear you that well. And then you call, it says that this person answered and you're able to call them. So you could get really, really sly and clever and sneaky almost to a certain extent. That's where you're maybe getting more in the lines of a telemarketer, and you might not like something like that. And again, this, not every little detail it is over here is for everyone. You might prefer those one-on-one types of conversations rather than pre-recorded calls or things like that. Whatever it is that you want to do, get out there and do it. And again, this database is designed, and there's so many available, but the key purpose, the reason why these databases exist, is to help make your job easier, even if it's just managing and organizing the information for you, because it's very effective and essential that you have this information organized in a way that makes sense to you. So definitely have something at least just to organize the information, and then as your business grows and you have the right communications that you want to send out to certain people, you could start throwing in there all these automations, whether it's text messages or emails or phone calls or voicemails or all these other tools that are available. Again, going back to the print mailing, we haven't touched on that. We talked about it a couple times, but we haven't gone much detail with that, but that's a huge way to actually go out there and start adding some extra value. Maybe you're sending them a package in the mail, some sort of booklet almost of papers, or of even if it's just a flyer or a couple pages of recommended tips or things to do. The reason why so many emails don't get opened is because there's so many emails. And the reason why there's so many emails is because it's free to send out these emails. Whether it's you or that's manually sending it, or very, very cost effective if you even have an automated service sending this out. And that's why there's so many emails, and there's these spam emails and so on and so forth. If we're talking about physical mail that comes in your mailbox, yeah, there's still a lot of junk mail. A lot of all like these little cheap little flyers and things like that. But people could usually weed their way through those pretty quickly and get rid of all those junk mails. And then if they see a nice little letter that's addressed personally to them with a little stamp on it and everything, and they're like, oh wow, look, I've got a letter. And they open it up, and then they see, oh, it's John. He sent me this thing he was telling me about things we need to know to sell a house. I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna look at it. And even if they don't ever look at it, they saw it. You had that impression on them, and you had that physical impression in front of them instead of just a digital impression. Showing up on their phone screen or the computer screen isn't worth as much as actually showing up in person. Really, the best thing you could do is actually show up in person, but the next best thing you could have to that is showing that piece of paper that's got your name, your logo, your picture on it, and all that type of stuff, so they could start to see that you're really real. You're not just some sort of over-the-phone internet scam con artist or something like that. If you show up there in person, that makes you a lot more genuine, which is going to build your relationship, which is ultimately going to make it a lot easier for you when they're ready to actually do business with you. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to cover a few more things about this database, a few last tips I want to give you guys. I'm John.
Have you been thinking about starting a career in real estate? Enjoy an entrepreneurial lifestyle that allows for schedule flexibility with unlimited income potential. In real estate, the sky is the limit, and what you put in is what you get out. Learn more about a career in real estate at tampaschool.com. Did you know that statewide, only about 50% of test takers pass their state exam on the first try? At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we've broken down passing the class and state exams into 4 simple steps: learning the information, reinforcing the information, testing your knowledge, and being confident and prepared. View the details of the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you're thinking about starting or enhancing your career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com. And if you're thinking about trying to take your state exams, or maybe you are trying to take your state exams or your class exams, for our recommended strategy to pass your exams on the first try, check out passfirsttry.com. So just a few closing words I want to have, because I know we're coming up on the end of the show here, about how to effectively manage your real estate database and how to really kind of build out a database if you don't have one already. So the key things that I want to touch on with this here is, number one, you need to have a database. And again, when I say that word database, again, it could just be something as simple as paper that you're writing this down on, or a Google spreadsheet, or something very basic. There's a lot of tools out there that are available that are very useful and very effective, and those tools will sometimes get very expensive. Now, if you've got a lot of business, if you've got a lot of clients, if you've got a lot of data to go off of, that might be worth making the investment in that. But if you're a new agent, you want to try to bootstrap and minimize these costs, so that way once you start getting some deals, then you could start upgrading things, increasing your database, maybe adding some stuff off. So that's maybe one other thing that you want to look at when you're trying to find a perfect database, is finding one that's maybe scalable, maybe something that's got a plan. A lot of these systems will bill you based on the number of contacts you have. The more contacts you have in the system, the higher the charge actually goes. So that's another way to help kind of grow with you, rather than having up front to pay like $500 a month or something ridiculous like that for these systems. And sometimes they get even more expensive than that too. So definitely try to, again, minimize your costs with this. And if you want to do the free route with that, that's definitely something great to start off with. It's better than doing nothing. Hey, you could go old school with it. Get yourself a little black book and just jot down the things about those particular clients, and you could kind of flip through. Or one of the things that before computers, a lot of agents used to do is they would have a 30-day file. They'd have 30 days of folders, or usually about 30 days, that they would do, and basically they would move the file file of the people around from day 1 to day 30 or day 14 for how many days they want to follow up with somebody, and they would just basically kind of keep rotating them forward. So they say, okay, who do I have to contact today? And your database will kind of help you do that. So the key thing is you want to use something, whether it's something very basic, something very prehistoric, or something that's the most cutting edge technological thing available that's going to give you more data than you even know what to do with. But you want to use something, and find something that, again, is not going to break the bank on you, that's going to be effective and useful in your business, something that you can understand, something, if you're not the best at understanding this, the technical stuff here, find a company that you're going to use for this that's going to have some maybe sort of hotline, some tech support hotline, because that's another thing that makes these different as well. Is some of them you're completely on your own, and other ones you'll have like a dedicated account specialist that's there to help you maximize the usage of these databases. So make sure you have something like that. And then the other big thing with this is segmenting your information, segmenting and grouping together your contacts in here. So you know, okay, these are my first-time home buyers, these are my highly motivated sellers, these are my for sale by owners, these are all this different information that you have in there about these people. So when you do have contacts and communications with these people, that you're giving them information that ties into what it is that they're doing. You're not calling them up and say, hey, what was it that you called me about again? I know we spoke before, but were you trying to buy or sell? That just makes you look like, number one, you don't care about them, and number two, you don't know what you're doing. Very unprofessional. That's not going to help you grow your business. So again, make sure you organize and have this data together. I could go either way for being an organized person myself, and a lot of things I'm not very organized, but with information like this, something like this where I could absolutely see the value in it, I'll make the effort. And even the most disorganized person can make the effort to be organized when it comes down to something like this. And again, these database tools are designed also to help make that a little bit easier, to make that organization effort easy for you. But make sure, whatever it is, that not only you're segmenting your clients, but you're actually making use of this database. You're putting your clients in there. Every person you talk to, you're putting in there. So, and you're putting some notes about them. You're having details and knowledge about them, so you know, okay, this is a person that's looking to buy in 6 months. They're a first-time home buyer. They've done this research. They've been on this website, they read this article, any details you have, because this is basically meant to be your extra mind, your digital mind, where it doesn't forget that information. So it's very effective, it's very useful when used correctly, and it really helps you scale your business. So you definitely want to use some sort of database to keep track of your clients. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you've got some information that you could take out and use in your business today. I know some of you guys have picked up some stuff. I'm sure you've got more than enough tips here. Some of you guys might be saying, well, I need to watch this again. And guess what? You're in luck. You're able to watch this again. The power of the internet, of technology. Go to tampaschool.com/success. That's tampaschool.com/success. You can actually put in your email, and you're going to get notifications every time we go live, and you're actually going to have access as well to all of these past episodes, to all of these past shows. For Fridays, where we do State of Real Estate at 12 noon Eastern Time to help you grow your real estate business, and Wednesdays at 12 noon Eastern Time, Ask the Instructor, where we help you understand the more technical side of the real estate industry. Both of those shows available for free. Just go to tampaschool.com/success. Put in your email in there, and again, you'll get those notifications for that. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com. Just search for Tampa School of Real Estate. We've got tons of videos in there. You search Tampa School of Real Estate, you're going to see page after page after page of my face and all kinds of other helpful videos that you're going to be able to see in there that'll, again, help you grow your business. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube. If you're already subscribed and watching this, thank you so much for subscribing. You guys getting so much use, and all the comments on there. We've got a lot of love on the shows recently. We've been having a lot of growth on the shows, and that's what keeps driving us forward and helping us kind of up the level and bring up the bar of not only the guests that we bring on the show here, but the information we deliver to you to help you grow and develop your real estate business. Because our biggest motivation is seeing you succeed, and that's what really makes us happy. It makes us feel like we're contributing to the world, because we are contributing to the world. We're helping realtors make the world a better place. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm John Carissimo. This has been State of Real Estate. It's brought to you by Tampa School of Real Estate. Tune in next Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time. We'll have another episode to help take your real estate business to the next level. Till then, I'll see you.
Have you been thinking about starting a career in real estate? Enjoy an entrepreneurial lifestyle that allows for schedule flexibility with unlimited income potential. In real estate, the sky is the limit, and what you put in is what you get out. Learn more about a career in real estate at tampaschool.com. Did you know that statewide only about 50% of test takers pass their state exam on the first try? At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we've broken down passing class and state exams into 4 simple steps: learning the information, reinforcing the information, testing your knowledge, and being confident and prepared. View the details of the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.